In this video, we are going to discuss few topics from the chapter Circulatory System from the book Concise Biology, class 10th. The topic is the blood vessels. The blood vessels which carry the blood in it and they transport the blood from the heart to the different parts of the body. They are of mainly three types: arteries, capillaries and veins. Arteries are the vessels which carry blood away from the heart towards any organs. The arteries are having thick muscular walls, means it is having thick walls. The inner portion, which is called narrow lumen, it is called lumen and it is narrow in nature, and the blood in the arteries flows in spouts, means jerks. This says that the blood in the arteries moves in jerks as the ventricular contraction takes place and the arteries are directly concerned with the ventricles. So whenever contraction of ventricle takes place, blood flows in the arteries in jerks. Here you can see the diagram of the artery, that it is a very thick muscular in nature and the lumen inside is very narrow. Moving on further, the next is the vein. The veins are the vessels which carry blood away from the organ towards the heart. And their characteristic is that they are having thin muscular walls. You can see in the diagram here with the help of a yellow cursor that the walls of the veins are thin. They are having thin muscular walls. And looking into the lumen, we can see the lumen is wider, means it is having a wider lumen. These veins carries the blood in it and the blood in it flows uniformly. Because it is not concerned with the ventricles, they have to receive the blood and they have to transfer the blood to the heart for next circulation. Therefore, the veins carry blood uniformly. Veins also have thin pocket-shaped walls in it. Here you can see in the diagram with the help of the cursor, you can see these are the walls present in the vein. These walls does not allow the blood to move back. Hence we can say that the veins contain thin pocket-shaped walls in it. Moving on further, if we say about the branch of the artery, the branches of the arteries are called arterioles. And arterioles are also highly muscular, means they are also having muscular walls and they can change the diameter many folds. The third type of the blood vessel is capillaries. These capillaries are the very narrow tubes and they are having the diameter of about 8 micrometers. The characteristics of the capillaries is that it is made up of very thin single layer of aqueous epithelium cells. The single layer of squamous epithelium cells is also known as endothelium cells. Therefore, we can say these capillary blood vessels are having its walls made up of endothelium. The second character is that the capillaries do not have muscles in it, means they don't have muscular walls. Moving on further, now let's see the functions of capillaries. As capillaries are the only vessels which are concerned with the outward diffusion of oxygen and they transfer the oxygen into the intercellular fluids, means the fluid which is present inside the cellular spaces. Capillaries are the only vessels which allow the inward diffusion of carbon dioxide from the intercellular fluid, means from the intercellular spaces of the tissues, carbon dioxide moves from tissue fluid into the capillaries, means blood. The capillaries, they allow the inward and outward diffusion of the substances such as glucose, amino acids, urea, hormones, etc. Means the capillaries helps in the transportation of the different substances from the blood into the tissue fluid or from the tissue fluid into the blood. The capillaries, they allow the WBCs to squeeze out so that they can enter into the tissue fluids and helps in destroying the germs present in the various species present inside the tissues. These capillaries, they have the property for some extension of dilation and contraction. The dilation of the capillaries is called vasodilation, while the contraction of capillaries is called vasoconstriction. You can see this phenomena that whenever a person walks in the hot sun, the face of that person turns into pink. The reason behind is all the capillaries present in the face, they dilate and the blood flows to the large extent, hence the face appears pink. While in winters, when it is too cold, the face turns bluish. The thing is, in winter, all the capillaries vasoconstrict themselves, and the capillaries, because of vasoconstriction, carries little amount of blood, which means that there is a shortage of blood in the capillaries of the face, hence the face appears to be blue. Moving on further, these capillaries, they reunite again to form the blood vessels, which are called as venules. These venules, they again unite and reunite to form the larger veins. Thus, the veins carries the blood towards the heart. Moving on further, let's discuss the different types of circulation in the human beings. There are two types of circulations, that is pulmonary and systemic circulation. As we already know that the blood flows twice in the heart before it carries one complete round. The two types are, the first is the short pulmonary circulation and the second one is long systemic circulation. Because heart has to transfer the blood and the blood flows twice in the heart before completing one full round, that is why it is called double circulation. This means the circulation in the humans is called double circulation. Let's understand with the help of the diagram. Here, let's start with the right auricle. You can see with the help of the yellow cursor. The blood from the right auricle enters into right ventricle. From right ventricle, it enters into the lungs for oxygenation. And from lungs, it again enters into the heart. Now, the blood started from the heart and it ended up in the heart again. And as the lungs are closer to the heart, so this circulation is called pulmonary circulation and a short circulation. Now, the blood moves from left auricle to left ventricle. From the left ventricle, the blood is transported to the various organs of the body, and from those various organs of the body, the blood again moves further to the right auricle. Here you can see, again there is a circulation from the heart to body parts and again it enters to the heart. But the left ventricle has to distribute the blood to the various parts which are even at the farthest point also. Therefore, this circulation is called systemic circulation and it is known as long circulation. Moving on further, let's see the topic hepatic portal system. As we all know that the blood vessels which enters into the organs are called arteries and the blood vessels which leaves the organs are called veins. But the veins which are starting from the stomach and the intestine, they do not directly carry their blood to the veins, to the posterior vena cava, which means it does not carry its blood to the heart. Instead, the veins from the stomach and the intestine, they enters into the liver. and the blood vessel of the stomach and the intestines, which carries the blood from the stomach and the intestine into the liver, is called hepatic portal vein. So this is the special name given to the vein. This is called hepatic portal vein. This hepatic portal vein, actually it is starting from the organ that is stomach and intestine, and it is ending again in the organ that is liver. So we can say that a portal vein is one which starts with capillaries and also ends up with the capillaries. Now, the purpose of the hepatic portal system is that the food which we eat is absorbed by the stomach and intestine. After absorption, it is first brought to the liver, and this liver acts as the storage to regulate the quantities of the nutrients flowing into the general blood circulation. For example, if we are eating excess sugar, then the blood in the stomach will carry the nutrients of the sugar, and it will take on those nutrients with the help of blood to the liver. The liver will store excess sugar in the form of glycogen. Hence, the liver helps in regulating the nutrients which have been absorbed from the different food sources. Thus, hepatic portal system is a special system in which blood flows from the organ and it moves into the another organ, that is liver.